Alright, y'all, what's good? I told y'all niggas, man, I got y'all with another video same day. I know it's new Taze, yes sir. Come on. Yeah, bro. So today we looking at some unsolved mysteries, bro. I know I've been slacking on the uploads, but your boy's been doing good at college, bro. So some words of advice. Whatever you doing, I don't care, bro. At least just do it good, bro. You know what I'm saying? But we back on the YouTube grind, so let's get into this. Yo, and comment down below, what should I call y'all niggas? Hopefully this one goes a little viral so I get a community, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's talk about this. Mm,
Today's video is sponsored by Stamps.com.
I don't care, bro.
If there's one thing every small business owner can relate to, it's that their business doesn't feel small to them. If you don't want to miss out on opportunities to grow your business and focus on your customers, you should really check out Stamps.com, the 24/7 online post
Oh,
office that's dedicated to saving.
what's that? Yeah?
I don't trust your mom because she's getting me silly. What's the name of that restaurant where you like the jerk? Is it Conduit?
Conduit jerk, yeah.
Alright. I'm
Alright.
gonna walk all the way to it and it'd be the wrong place.
Jerk pork, Uncle, get jerk pork.
That's exactly what I'm getting. My nephew recommended. That's
Alright.
what I'm getting.
Let me know how you like it.
Alright.
Alright, yeah. Sorry about that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You got the fam over and shit. Gotta take care of the fam. Even though I'm locked away in this fucking dorm shit, but yeah.
you time, money, and stress.
Nah, fuck this shit though.
Skip the post your run real is packed to explore of you free post rate.
Alright, let's get into it now.
Despite its relatively small size, Byron Bay is one of Australia's premier tourist destinations. Nearly 2 million people visit the coastal town each year.
There we go.
In 2019, 18-year-old Theo Hayes was amongst them. The young Belgian national was drawn to Byron for the same reasons as most travellers his age. The town's beautiful beaches, great surfing spots, and its chilled-out, relaxed atmosphere. For much of the year, backpackers and tourists make up the majority of Byron's population. It's a transient sort of town, a place where some people go to find themselves, and where others go to lose themselves.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in Theo's case, his trip to Byron was an escape from which he would never return.
Damn. Ain't
Theo
life
had
so
been
crazy,
exploring
yo?
Australia for the better part
Just
of a
like
year
that.
by the time he arrived
Don't
in
even
Byron.
know.
He'd spent much of his time down under with his cousin, Lisa Hayes, who described Theo as being a responsible and level-headed traveller. According to her, he wasn't that typical young tourist who loves partying, and was instead much more interested in experiencing Australian culture and immersing himself in the country's natural beauty.
You don't know that's
Still,
not the guy.
meeting people and making connections is what travelling's all about. And since Theo didn't know anyone when he arrived in Byron, he got to talking with some other young people at the Wake Up hostel where he was staying. These fellow backpackers invited Theo to join them for some drinks in town. The young Belgian was scheduled to fly home to Europe the following week, so he figured, why not? One last adventure in Oz. On May 31st, Theo and one of his new acquaintances caught a shuttle bus into town. They were seen on CCTV at 7:45 PM, buying a bottle of wine and acting normally.
And
They both then returned to the Wake Up hostel and shared the bottle with some other friends that they had made. Later that evening, Theo and his new companions went back into town once again and paid a visit to an infamous bar called Cheeky Monkeys, a short distance from Byron's main area. Now, Cheeky Monkeys had something of a reputation at the time. It was ranked as one of the most violent bars in all of Australia, well known for its dodgy clientele, aggressive bouncers, and for the poor lighting in the surrounding area. Most of the locals knew better than to go there. But Theo wasn't a local, and nor were his new friends. With the end of May being somewhere between autumn and winter in Australia, it was obviously the off-season period.
Well, I'm not gonna pause too much, bro, but
it was a particularly quiet night inside Cheeky Monkeys. In fact, the bar was only at about 1/4
Bro, don't you guys find it so crazy, bro? You can walk outside your house. You could go travel. You know, at the moment, you're really having the time of your life, bro. But actually, that could be your last time going inside your house and just, you know what I'm saying? That could be your last time seeing your friends, seeing your mom. It's just crazy, cause this, bro, look at this, bro. This is the last time you're seeing somebody alive, bro, on camera, and he don't know it, but you know it, bro. Come on, it's just funny to me.
The capacity. Still, judging by the
You
surveillance
know what I'm
footage,
saying?
Theo was having a fun time nonetheless, and was seen dancing
Yeah.
on the bar with the other backpackers he had met. At about 11 PM, Theo bought 2 drinks at the bar, before promptly being escorted out the building by security.
Brody was lit.
According to the guard who kicked him out, Theo was a polite young man, but had clearly had too much to drink and was stumbling all over the place. Other witnesses at the bar contradicted this though, and said that Theo was actually completely sober when he was kicked out, and wasn't being loud or rude or aggressive in any way.
So what happened?
According to them, the security guard's decision to kick him out seemed completely random and unprovoked. Looking at the CCTV footage of Theo exiting the premises, he didn't appear to be intoxicated, though of course that's up for interpretation. The guard made him stand on an X to have his photo taken.
But what?
Theo appears confused
I
in
ain't
the
doing
footage,
that shit,
but
bro.
goes
You
along
bugging.
with the whole rigmarole.
Me personally, nigga want my
At
picture.
11:07 PM,
Nah,
the
bro.
security cameras captured Theo walking off by himself down Kingsley Street and
That's
into
it.
the cold, quiet night. This was the last time
Yep.
Theo Hayes was ever seen alive.
Yep.
After exiting the camera's
We're
field of
looking
view,
at
he
somebody's
vanished off the
like,
face of the earth,
bro.
never to be seen again.
They did something to bro.
To begin with, everyone assumed
That's it.
that when Theo left the bar, he began walking back towards his hostel. That of course made perfect sense, seeing how his accommodation wasn't too far from town, and he could have easily made the journey on foot. But as detectives would come to learn after analysing his Google location data, Theo never made it back to the Wake Up hostel that
They
night.
got bro. Come on.
In fact, he didn't even get close.
They got him. This nigga took a
Soon
picture.
after leaving the
No,
area,
they got
Theo
bro.
sent a series of text messages in French
He's
to his
gone.
friends back in Belgium. That's likely who he was messaging in this footage. At some point after that, he watched a portion of a TV show on YouTube and sent his sister a message on WhatsApp. On several occasions, he opened Google Maps to search for routes back to his hostel. Clearly, he was planning on heading back at some point. However, according to his mobile records, he actually took an extremely bizarre route after leaving the bar
Bro was getting
and walked
chased.
in
Look
the
at
opposite
this. Look at
direction
this.
of the hostel
I'm pointing out.
towards
Bro
a
was
youth
getting
activity
chased.
center down Tennyson Street. He then spent 7 minutes standing in a sporting field, a field where homeless people and drifters were known to stay.
Sums up.
At 11:30 PM,
And where
he
your
began
friends
walking
at?
extremely quickly
They just
through the
let
Milne
you-
track towards Tallow Beach,
What?
moving at 7.5
Didn't he
kilometers
come
an
with
hour.
friends? Let me know.
With no streetlights in that part of town, it would have been very dark, with no signs of life, and Theo would have been
Oh,
well aware
man.
that he was heading in the wrong direction and away from civilization.
They got him.
Still, as the data shows, he continued on through the thick bushland in a near straight line. Considering just how treacherous the bush along the Milne track is, that seemed like an almost impossible task, especially considering that Theo wasn't familiar
Bro,
with
they
the area.
got him.
As he
Rest
made
in
his way
peace,
through
Theo,
the
bro.
shrub, he never once slowed down
Brody's
and
gone.
continued walking at a very fast
He's
pace.
actually gone. Like, rest in peace, Theo, for real.
He finally exited the bushland and made it onto the beach, after which he began heading in the direction of Cozy Corner, towards Byron
Some
Bay's
Fortnite
lighthouse.
shit, cozy corner.
During all that time, Theo continued texting his friends and sister as if nothing was out of the ordinary.
What?
His messages were coherent and didn't give off the impression that he was distressed or in trouble. At 12:56 AM, Theo sent his final message to a friend he had made in Australia.
Y'all think he off himself?
Just 6 minutes later, his phone suddenly switched to sleep mode and stopped transmitting data.
Or maybe they had some, like a gun to his
Strangely,
head or some
his
shit.
phone came back online at around 6 AM
Yeah.
and connected to a cell tower in Cape Byron one final time at 1:47 PM. After that, his phone never pinged again. In the following days, Theo failed to call his family back in Belgium.
They got, bro.
That was completely out of character for him. he usually stayed in close contact with his parents, so they immediately began to sense that something was off. When June 6th rolled around and he still hadn't called, his family reported him missing. A huge search and rescue effort was launched. It involved helicopters, drones, cadaver dogs, trackers, divers, and even rock climbers. The local community even banded together, putting up missing person posters and helping hunt for the young man. Theo's parents flew out to Australia and made a passionate appeal for any information
Shit's
that would
fucked
help
up.
them find their son. But by that point, the trail
He's
had
gone,
already
bro.
frozen over.
You lost him.
They couldn't find a single trace of the young man anywhere. His passport and personal belongings
Oh,
were still in
man.
his private room at the hostel.
Something happened to him.
In July, volunteers came across Theo's grey Puma baseball cap, nestled in the brush
What happened
near
to him?
Talos Beach. So, what happened to Theo Hayes? Well, here are a few of the main theories. Theory 1.
Some shit.
Theo left Cheeky Monkeys, and, for whatever reason, decided to go on a solo adventure through the bushland. He somehow made it to the beach, and began climbing up the beachside cliffs towards the famous lighthouse. This act of misadventure ended in tragedy, with Theo falling from the rocks and into the sea.
That don't make sense.
His last known location was at Talos Beach after all, and it would explain why his body still hasn't been found.
My nigga, why would he be walking
Then again,
badly by
if
himself?
Theo ended up in the ocean and was swept away or taken by a shark, how could his phone have reconnected at 1:47 PM and pinged off a cell phone tower?
Brody got smoked.
It's
They turn on
possible
the
he
phone,
dropped
they
his
can tell
phone
you
before
doing, turn
falling
off
in the
phone.
water,
Come on.
but that doesn't explain why the device still hasn't been found to this day, or why an otherwise sensible and risk-averse young man would do something so reckless and out of character. His inhibitions may have been lowered at the time, but as the CCTV footage shows, he almost certainly wasn't that drunk. Theory 2.
Come on.
Theo was murdered. It doesn't make sense that a young man, with no knowledge of the local area, would have been able to travel the Milne Track alone at night.
Come on, bro.
According to people who know the area, it's simply far too complex, dense, and difficult to traverse without knowing where you're going. And for him to have taken the unapparent detour towards Tallow Beach, well, that's an obscure route which only a local would know to take.
Alright.
You have to pass down a small path by a gully and an abandoned campsite,
Bro,
and it's not the
enough
kind
of
of
these
place
theories,
you just
bro.
stumble
My nigga is
across.
gone. Rest in peace, Theo, bro.
In the minds of many, Theo had to have met someone after leaving Cheeky Monkeys,
Rest in peace, Theo,
a local,
bro.
perhaps in the field where he spent 7 minutes standing around.
We're gonna carry on, bro. Rest in peace.
This
my nigga
local
Theo, bro.
then led him through the thick shrubbery of the Milne Track, with promise it just might be possible to have those old bones swept under the rug.
Oh shit, yo, we've been going on for what?
Rebecca Zahow, 31, was leading the kind of
Yo, I'm gonna have to do a part 2 on this. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want the video too long, bro. But yeah, rest in peace, Theo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, my guy, Theo. I'm not going to Australia. Nice to know. But yeah, man, check in like 30 minutes, cause I'm gonna do this shit back to back. You know what I'm saying? 3 videos one day type shit. Yeah, bro. Check back to back. Rest in peace, my dog Theo. I'm gonna see y'all next video, baby.